The floor systems in our home makes the biggest difference in the quality and the feel of one of our homes. We've all walked through a home where the floor joists bounced, the floor moved, the china cabinet rattled, things squeaked, and most of us kind of accepted that as to be a normality. Well, if that happened, you weren't in one of our homes. Because in one of our homes, the floors do not move, they do not wiggle, they do not squeak. And the reason for that is the floor system that we use. We use the I-joist system in all of our homes. Exclusively, we will use 11 and 7/8 inch I-joists, and we use these in different sizes. They come in different series depending on the strength that we need and the span that we're going to try to reach and the floor performance that we're going for. And that's engineered individually from home to home. The engineers do that for me to make sure that we get the performance rating that I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is a floor that doesn't wiggle, doesn't move, doesn't bounce, and doesn't squeak. Now, when people look at these 11 and 7/8 inch I-joists, they also make them in 9s and they make them in 14s. But when they look at these, they might actually think that this is a lower quality product than a regular floor joist. They see that because there's less material here. You look at it and go, well, that's just a piece of plywood, OSB plywood with a couple boards on top and bottom. How could that possibly be strong? Well, you will notice that they're called I-joists, and it's because it's I-shape. You'll see the similarity between the shape and the design of these wood I-joists to that of a steel I-beam. Now, all of us accept a steel I-beam as being an extremely strong ratio to its weight, and that's why it's used and trusted in construction all over the world. This is strong for the same reasons. It's the same principles of physics that apply, just a different material. This being wood, we can cut it, trim it, makes it much easier for custom building. But this is actually 3 times stronger than a 2x12. Now, it's 3 times stronger than a 2x12. It does cost a lot more than a 2x12, but it's not 3 times as much as a 2x12, so I see value in it that way. But the I-joist alone is not the only thing that makes our floor systems work so well and makes them so strong. It's how they're used and the materials that they're used in conjunction with. Example being the subfloor. Now, the subfloor that we use is Advantech subfloor system. I use this exclusively. Until I find a better product, this is what you'll see used on your homes. The Advantech is different than a regular OSB. It would be an insult to call it OSB, in that it is much denser. I would say 3 times as dense. It weighs twice as much. A sheet of this, a 4x8 sheet, weighs 77 pounds. When you pick one of these up, you know you got a hold of something. At the end of the day, my guys are just exhausted putting this material down. But when it's put down the right way, it works great. Another plus for Advantech, the thing that they promote more than their strength, is its resistance to water. This product is almost impervious to water. I think you could build a boat out of it. So when your home gets rained on, the subfloor doesn't swell. Ice doesn't swell. Nothing gets in it because it's encapsulated in wax. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put down a thick bead of subfloor glue. We're not shy with that at all. And then we're going to lay the subfloor on top of the I-joist, and we're going to secure the 2 of them together. Now, what most people are going to do, most builders are going to use nails, 8-penny nails, and they're going to be driven in or shot in with an air gun, securing this piece of subfloor to that I-joist right there. But in time, nails work loose. When things wiggle around and move, and now when this is doing that, a piece of metal against a piece of wood, it turns into a squeak. So we're just, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to use screws. We're going to use this screw here, and it's going to come in with the screw gun, go into the wood, and it's going to countersink just a little bit. And it's going to secure this subfloor to that I-joist in such a way that it'll never squeak. And when you pull this super strong subfloor down to this very strong I-joist, and you hold them together like that, they work as one unit. When they're working as one unit, the floor system is really impressive. And then you're going to see one of these screws every couple inches. Conveniently enough, Advantech goes ahead and puts spots where they want you to put a screw. It takes a little bit of the thinking out of it, and that's important when it's 110 degrees outside. Your head just doesn't work quite the same way. So you'll see laying around the job site a bunch of these blue strips. The blue strips is what the screws were attached to, and we run it through a screw gun. Now again, most people don't do this because of the expense, but the expense of this is far outweighed by the performance. Consider having thousands of pieces of hardwood floor laying on top of the subfloor. If this subfloor is moving, so are those pieces of hardwood floor, and when they move, they're going to squeak. The solution is make a floor system that doesn't move. This is that system right here. That's where the steel I-beam is going to sit, and it's going to run left and right across this home. Well, it can only go so far before it requires support. So right here, we're going to have a steel post. We have an actual elevator in this home. This is an elevator shaft, complete with a recessed well in the bottom so that the elevator can come down and get truly flush with the floor, and it's going to make it a